with liberty and justice for all.
The township is recording. Is anyone else recording?
I am.
I'll make a motion to follow the meeting agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public participation. Judy Walsh.
Well, I have two things, actually, but the first one is, I went over Doug Road today, and it is atrocious. I don't know how you could, I don't know if you guys have been over it or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if my car's out of alignment. I mean, it's all the way across the road. They're holes, they're not just,
They've filled the holes twice.
well, they haven't filled these, because they're
Yes,
about
they-
a foot deep, I swear, because I
Right up
hit
by,
that one today. And it,
We filled them twice.
what
I know where you're
what are you
from.
filling with? I mean,
They got washed out. We've had a lot of rain. We can't keep it in.
the rain wouldn't wash it out that much, right? If you
It-
filled them
It's the
twice.
material you use.
Pardon?
It's the material that you're using,
The machinery that we're using?
not the machinery, the material.
Oh, I
The
grant
dirt
you.
that you're using, it's not good.
It's stuff that
It
we
doesn't
can't.
hold up.
That road is
We're,
terrible, it needs to be worked,
We're in the process. We're gonna get it worked and
because I wasn't going that fast and I hit that thing. I mean, there is no avoidance all the way across the road.
there's another bad spot up on Sunset Road.
I haven't been
It's
up there,
gotta be-
but the
gotta
minute I
be
hit
taken care of.
Smithfield, there's potholes here and there, but not like there is on Doug Road. And it's bad. Our road's not too good, but, and Mormon Lake, or not Mormon Lake, Miller Pond Road is the same way. They're just holes and you cannot get around them.
I agree.
I was really not happy today when I hit that hole. Cause that's just,
We've had a ton of rain in the past, the whole last year. The ground's been saturated.
I understand.
It's not just the rain, it's the material that you're using that's no good. Those roads, there's areas that they put there, we had that heavy rain back in 2011. And that part where they put that new stuff down, it's still there and it's still holding up with all the rain that we've had. That's that blue stuff over by Marty,
The DSAG material.
and that holds up.
Yeah, well, we
They
can't.
pat
get it.
down and
We
hold
can't
up.
get it.
What?
We
I
can't
thought you
get it,
just voted to get it last month.
Why not?
because it's not available. We tried all last year to get it. It's
I thought you voted to
hard to
get
get.
If the testing process takes too long, they couldn't get the material in time to get the roads worked for Dustville.
As you go up to East Smithfield, the roads are much, much better than ours.
Because they're digging them down and getting rid of the potholes. They're not just skimming the surface and filling those potholes. You got to dig the road down and
Oh,
get
there's
it.
no doubt about it, but they haven't had a
They
chance to
haven't
do
been on
that.
Doug Road yet this year.
Well, they didn't do it last year either, so. And my other
Yep.
comment is, the letter that we got from Thompson, that you read from Thompson last month, it clearly states in there that that money should be paid back. Has it been?
You know, this has been going on for too long.
We
I
need some
read the
answers.
letter, from the committee that, or the people that investigated this. And the word that really got to me was the de minimis. Do you know what that word is? De minimis?
Yes.
You, Scala?
Yeah?
Okay, that word was used, and they,
What word was it?
de
De
minimis.
minimis,
Minimus?
de minimis.
The minimus?
That was used in that letter from the ethics committee,
From the ethics committee.
but it wasn't used in the one that Thompson.
No. You had the investigation, you called, I read the letter, we've done it all, okay? Scott, as far as I'm concerned, hasn't done anything wrong, and I think he's, okay, if you guys wanna continue this and fight this, you go ahead. As far as I'm concerned, this is over with.
Did you talk to the lawyer, the township lawyer?
I just told you, it's over with, it's done.
Well, you don't talk to the lawyer,
It's
how is
fine.
it over with?
He sounds like McConnell.
It's there, it's supposed to pay it back.
Really does.
Why don't you call the ethics commission and ask them if I
Okay.
should pay the money back?
Well, you know, we have our lawyer there, he feels that you should. Nobody's talking about
So then take it up with the
lawyer.
lawyer then. If you feel that I should pay it back, then take it up with the lawyer.
Okay,
I've done what I was supposed to do. You had your investigation with the ethics commission. The ethics commission made their finding, and the ethics commission says that I don't have to pay that money back.
They
in any
never
way,
said
shape,
but
or
they
form.
found you
Anyone
guilty.
said it all.
Nope, absolutely not, ma'am. They did not find me guilty
Yes,
because
they
they
did.
didn't, there wasn't even enough money to conduct an investigation. The money that you, if,
No,
if
they found,
everything,
they
excuse
found
me,
that you
excuse
worked
me.
without, no, excuse me, damn it, excuse me. They found that you worked without proper authorization. Yes or no?
No, ma'am, they did not.
They most certainly did.
They did
What
not.
world
they
is
did
this
so.
man in? Okay, I'll get a copy of the letter and I'll put it on this.
Listen, ma'am, I'm gonna explain this to you one more time, and this is the last time I'm gonna say anything about this, I'm done with it. I called the ethics commission. The man who wrote the letter, who you're gonna get a copy of and read it out here again and make a fool of yourself. The man who
You're
wrote
making
that
a fool out
letter,
of yourself.
the man who wrote that letter said that if he looked into your complaint, and if everything that you said was true, the worst thing was I would owe $624. But $624 was not worth his time to do an investigation.
I don't know where
He
that
did not
figure
find
came from.
anyone guilty of
They
anything.
never mentioned that
He-
figure.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they
Did
did.
they?
But I don't know where it
He didn't even
came
do an
from.
investigation. He did a preliminary investigation. He found out that the worst case scenario, if everything you said was true,
And it was,
I owed $624.
and it was true.
But it was not worth his time to do an investigation.
No, I didn't read
And he
that.
did not do one.
But that's not the way I read it.
So
I'll have the letter back
he
in
dismissed
here.
your complaint to the ethics.
Next meeting, the letter will be on the table.
You
for
can have the
everybody
letter all
to
you want,
read.
that's fine.
But we're talking about Thompson. Now, you say pursue Thompson, that's exactly what I'll do.
You go ahead and do that, ma'am.
Whatever happened to the letter that you were getting from the PSAC? We never got a copy of that stating that, with what you said that they said that you were
You
gonna.
never got a copy of that?
No, we never got it,
Why not?
because you never presented it. We asked for it to be put at the table, and you never presented it because you don't have anything, because we asked for a signature from the person that you talked to.
Judy put in a right to know, I gave the letter to Tammy.
Got that email.
You got a written letter with a gentleman's signature on it.
Email that had the questions and then it had.
That was what we asked for, because we don't feel
You
you
didn't
never
ask for
talked
it,
to
Judy
anybody.
asked for it.
I asked for it
Yes,
too.
for it.
And I asked, and you can go back to the minutes in the meeting, that I asked for it to be in writing with the gentleman's signature that you talked to, because you said you talked to the
Well, you can
gentleman.
ask for whatever you want. That doesn't mean that you get everything you want, Bill. This isn't Burger King. You don't have it your way.
That answers the
I got an
question.
email from the,
Then I think the township, as far as the people in the township, we want the township to hire an investigator to
well,
investigate
go ahead and hire
this.
an investigator, sir.
All right, but he
You
approved that the township will hire an investigator to make sure that it was done
We're
properly.
done with this, Bill.
That's all we want.
I'm done
No,
with you.
We're not done.
now that's a
We're not
motion
done.
that
We're
I
not
just
done with it.
made.
You made it, we're not.
We're
That's a
not.
motion we
That's
just
fine.
made.
Do what you gotta
Do whatever you have to do.
We will.
All right. And you're approving the secretary to get somebody to
Bill,
investigate.
enough of your nonsense.
No, enough of your nonsense. You're stealing from the township.
accepting it.
All right,
I don't have it. Or be in here.
You were never legally hired, that's what they said. They said in that meeting. You were never legally hired. So you were never entitled to one penny.
Bill, enough.
No, he's.
That's
No, he has the right to talk.
No, he doesn't. Is his name on the paper? Did I call on him to answer,
I'm
ask
just
him a
applying to
question?
what was already there.
Enough,
I'm
Bill.
just answering. Are you gonna tell me how to get it?
You're quite a comedian. I appreciate your,
Thank
Well,
you.
I'll relent my time to him. Let him talk.
well, your time's up too.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
No,
not.
it's not.
We're not on a time schedule.
Ma'am, is this your name on the Conto?
I just had, I just think when I go to the meetings, I find a lot of hate and discontent on both sides. And you're not respecting the people and I'm not, now I don't know you, so I don't like you, I don't dislike you, I don't know you from hole in the wall, except I just moved here. I don't, and I'm not going by he said, she said, we said, you said. I'm going by the facts, because that's all I have to look at. Now I just have a question. In order for a supervisor to work, do all three people have to vote for that to happen? Or is it just two vote and not all three? I just want that clarified for me.
If a supervisor was to be hired as a township employee, all three supervisors would vote on that. But for a supervisor to be compensated for his time working for the township, no vote is necessary.
No.
Because when I read the
Do you think that's
rules,
funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So
I
you
read-
think if Percy went and did something yesterday on the township and turned in his time that he wouldn't get paid because Ray and I didn't vote for it? That happens all the time.
He would have brought it back to the meeting tonight and ratified it. And he would have
Supervisors
been
turn in
paid.
time.
because when I
for-
read this lawyer's letter, it looked like it said that, three people had to vote, that two people couldn't vote because a third one has to settle it if there's a tie, and that you can't vote for yourself. So why am I reading that? If that's what it says. So why am I reading that if it's not true? I'm just confused on this matter, because I have no animosity against anybody, but I just don't understand where it looks clearly saying that I recommend it should be reimbursed because the process wasn't done the way the process should be done. And so this is never going to get ended, because it's like, you sound like you're the kind of person that if it's raining out, you're going to say it's sunny, no matter what. And I would have more respect if you said, okay, I didn't get the 3 votes, I didn't do whatever I'm supposed to do, because that's what it says here. Why would they say voluntarily recommend you reimburse the town if they didn't, lawyer didn't think something was not quite right? So I just think if you make a mistake, I mean, I don't care if you work and get paid, that's not a problem with me. My problem is that the lawyer's saying clearly that you didn't go through the proper channels. And I read up on some of the rules, and it looked like to me, all 3 of you have to vote, and that didn't happen. So I think that this would end, and life would go on if you just said, okay, the lawyer's right, I did it, I made a mistake. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, I did, you know, stuff happens, and then we can move on. Because ever since I've come to this meeting, this has come up, and it's like nothing's moving on. And a lot of people I talk to don't come to the meetings because they say all it is a bunch of you guys yelling this way yelling that way, and a little lack of little respect both ways, and it gets hot and heavy, and they won't come to the meetings. And I think it would be nice if we could get more people to come to the meetings and have it run with a little less arguing. And on Doug Road, by the way, I've seen the guys filling the holes and doing the best they can. And it's been more than twice, because I travel that road every Sunday to go to church and to go shopping. And it'll be really nice for a little while, and all of a sudden, and I just built a new house, and I have water, and my contractor cannot, he says you can't chase water. When it rains, all the time and never has more than 2 days of dryness, it's hard to do anything because of you're chasing water. So I've been on Doug Road before, visiting here since 1972, my relatives, and it's never been this bad, and I agree with you. I think the weather is just too much for that particular road, and every road has a different grade and a different runoff, so maybe one road somewhere else is fine and dandy, and this one's having issues, but the guys have been trying. I mean, I've seen them out there. That's it.
Thank you. All right. I have something to say to that, really. So, when all this first came about months ago, we have to answer to PSAS, which is the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors. Those are the people who make the rules that we have to follow. So when this happened, we reached out to PSAS to find the answers, to see whether what we did, what went on was within the rules, or if it was not. And the answer was that what I did was perfectly acceptable.
We don't know that, we've never seen anything.
And this is the problem, no matter how many times we say, the person who has authority on this said, this is what happened.
That's why I'm saying it, and I said it in the meeting, I'll say it again. Get the gentleman that you talked to that approved it and said everything, have him put it in writing, and get a copy of it and put it in the office in the files, and then you're covered. But we can't even get you to do that, because I don't think you talked to anybody.
Well, who's higher up on the food chain? Is a lawyer
Well, the
higher up than the
lawyer's
rest of
gonna
the
have to
guys?
go back over this now
Because
anyhow.
I always thought lawyers
And
were...
we're asking the lawyer we're asking them to take it to the lawyer and do what he thinks is efficient. We're thinking that he's stealing from the township, and the lawyer says, no, he's not. But according to the letter, he's saying it should all be paid back.
I think it's time to move on and learn from our mistakes. And all we do is tie up the whole meeting with this little piddly little thing that
Well,
we've
it's a few
done.
$1,000.
It's over $2,000.
$1,000. You waste $1,000 a year in beer. You know?
I never had a beer here.
Well, I'm just saying,
Township money.
I'm all for that. Bring the beer into the meeting.
it's just, we waste too much time on this little.
If they do it once, they're gonna do it
And-
again and
and-
again and again. How many other
Can I
townships have you ever
speak?
had?
I'm speaking, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Okay? And let it play out. That's all you can do, is let it play out. If he's in the wrong and the county supervisors find he's in the wrong, pay up Charlie or bye-bye. That's all there is to it. There's just too much time wasted on this little matter.
That's why I should let the lawyer investigate it. I agree with you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
So we're gonna make a motion that she turns it in to the lawyer and let him come to the next
Acceptance of
meeting?
the minutes of the April meeting. I make a motion to accept the minutes of the April meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, opening of bids for the 2005 calendar.
Oh, yeah. Get your own, but they have to pay for it. You did hear me say that, right?
What's
You
that?
can put it in the minutes. She wants to get the lawyer, and I said, you can get a lawyer, but you have to get your own, you can't use the township one. But the township has to pay for that lawyer.
To whom it may concern, Timothy D. Leonard submitting a bid of $12,281 on the cat loader Model 9 24G. Okay with that? $12,281. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to accept Tim's bid of $12,281 for the 2005 cat loader.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Gotta have it out of here by midnight tonight, though. We're out.
Took it around with that truck.
Financial reports. Treasurer's report.
There's one for March and one for April, the April one's on the top. Because Diane hasn't reflected on it.
You must have inspection done on the sewer. Well, did you have an inspection done on the sewer? Is that why?
Inspection.
Yeah. Well, where am I looking? I-3 sewer has an expense of $250. Don't they do an thing on that? What's that $250?
Oh, that's a permit. That's that permit that they have to renew every 5 years.
Okay, I thought they had that inspected.
No. No, I don't think it was due for anything this year for that. That, the 250 was a permit.
Just one.
Did we get the impact money yet this year? No, that's in July, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard any amounts yet either. Probably won't know when we come back. Or usually the end of May. It's May. It's May. The other thing I should point out while you're looking at that treasurer's report is, that one sewer account that was years past due, that's paid concurrent. We didn't pay that one off. Another one that was past due. So it's current now, so if there's only one that's behind it, then that person.
Are you saying anybody's caught up now?
All but one, but that person's making payments.
Good.
All right. You wanna do them separately or just vote, separate vote? All right, I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's reports from March and April.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Monthly expenses. All right. 5-star equipment. Grader, fuel filter, filter kit, seal, oil.
It's the 2,000 hour service.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the bill that came. You seem to remember there being a bill every time. Service. I thought it was for 5 years.
That's for the grader. Yeah. All right, 5-star equipment for those 2,000 hour service on the grader, 32 $3,267.52. And ID booth. Oh, for the well. Repairs to the well. $12.35. $12.35. That's it. That was easy. All right, I'll make a motion to send back those expenses.
Yeah.
All in favor? All right, fund transfers. Do you have anything?
I think we need to move money into the state account. Cause you got Cinders and anti-skid coming for your regulars, so you might want to move like 20,000.
From state savings to state checking.
Yep. And then you might want to replenish the payroll account. Probably 15,000.
From the general fund. Or from
You might wanna take it from impact, because you're gonna have all the, you're gonna have all the 2RC bills coming in from over there.
okay.
And I don't know if it's gonna come up, but that's pretty significant.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to transfer $20,000 from the state fund savings to the state fund checking. All in favor? Aye. And I'll make a motion to transfer $15,000 from the impact account to the payroll account. All in favor? Aye. Township reports and updates. Ordinance enforcement. Road crew summary. And we have Ridgebury Color. In charge of that is some, correct?
Larry Road, basically. Yeah.
Leary Road today, right?
Um,
Did they get that done?
We went on it last night and they were better than halfway. There were trucks running all day today. I'd be surprised if they didn't finish it.
Okay.
And she's got a couple months here.
Yeah, I know.
As far as the, they left off grading, they're starting on the south gate. He said they did upper section better and everything that way, so I guess it's done. So, we're moving on.
There's some more.
And then they'll get right back after it. I think, I hope.
Yeah.
I haven't, I saw him Monday and I was. And just call the tractor, that's, hopefully that'll be up and running again this week, so that we use roads. Oh, and FEMA, that's in full swing. What it's looking like is we can submit for reimbursement for the stuff that's already been done. The only thing that you won't get yet is the stuff that hasn't been done yet, and that's kind of limited. Bobby said most of the flood repairs were done. There was the bridge on Cowell, that repair. They won't go off the cost estimate for the engineer. So Tim went down and looked at it, and he's gonna give us a quote, a quote, just to give to FEMA. But, the recommendation is basically off of the engineer and something that they probably have to put out for bid. Road crew, I don't know.
No.
It's a lot more involved.
What was that?
You can handle that job, couldn't you, Tim?
Yeah,
The Colorado Department. Yeah.
Just the one wing wall. They have to.
Said something about
I talked to Ian about that, and he said that it would be smart to call an engineer and ask them if they were talking about concrete, because he said it might have just meant riprap, getting something underneath there and then filling it in with gravel. So, and I know that something was said about there's an awful lot of gravel down, and he was talking about get that gravel and bring it back up and reuse it. And that might have been, I remember Bobby saying something about having to get on Sturtevant's property, and I'm wondering if that was.
You have to get on Sturtevant's property to get down into it.
To get down into where the repair needs to happen.
I don't think that would be a problem.
Then you probably have to go across to, I don't know who's on this side of the creek, on the upper side,
Left
to get the riprap in there.
On the private road?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know when on that side.
Maybe.
I don't know, look into it, see what we got.
She's not. She wants three planes and knows to do it. And the guys went in there, cut some trees out. They were in the waterway, and she wanted to move them firewood pieces and carry it up out of the tree.
Sure.
So they just left. She always bring her my baby's slot. She's not very fun to deal with. Yeah, she's on the private road. That's from Rusty's back. All right. Fire department report. We don't have anybody here. You want to do fire let's not do it under new business. Oh, I see. We can do it under road stuff. Yeah. So Bobby had put in his 2-week notice and is no longer with us. And we advertised and we had a couple people apply. This is Tom Rockwell. Tom Rockwell applied. He has a CDL. He worked for PennDOT before, and now he works at CVS. I'm going to make a motion to hire Tom. How do you want to word that? For probation. For probation period.
Is that the only one you had applied?
Who had applied also. I'm gonna make a motion to hire Tom, through his probation period for $12 an hour.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Code inspections.
Are you supposed to choose this, that the first one?
We have 2 building permits. One is for Daryl Leonard. He built a house on Centerville Road. And it's Happy Rare. Generator installed. What's that? Yeah, one of those backup generators. I'll make a motion to accept those permits.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Correspondence and communications. Old business, none. New business. Agent designation resolution, hazardous mitigation grant program.
That's for the hazard mitigation. The county is gonna, like, kind of lump all of the projects in Bradford County together, and the director over there is gonna act on the individual municipalities' behalf, but you have to designate her as the agent, so there's a resolution that you have to pass, you just have to approve it, basically. Just saying that she can act on behalf of, so that she can submit the applications and do all of the paperwork for, it's for any residents in Bradford County that are interested in, either, that's part of it, that's the main part of it, but there's also like, some projects qualify for like elevation and relocation and acquisition. There's 3 different parts of it, but the acquisition is like that's the part that's most likely to get funded. The funding isn't guaranteed at this point, they're taking the application and submitting it, but.
Okay. So,
You just need to approve or accept that resolution designating her. Her name's Amanda Boyer, if you want to put that in there.
okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the county resolution to designate Amanda Boyer to represent Ridgebury Township. Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. Any other questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Bellows, I want to thank you for, on the corner of Dog and Sunset, you had put up some little dirt piles there to let people know that it's deteriorating. I just noticed that with the rain, of course, it's starting to fall down. But I didn't know if maybe you could put some orange cones or something up, because somebody went right up next to the gravel, and I don't think they realize it's like a little tunnel underneath it, and I'm afraid the road's gonna fall down, and I know you can't fix it, it's a big job. But I want to thank you for the dirt, but I think that maybe orange cones now too might help, I don't know.
Yeah, that might work. We were gonna get more as soon as we get up in there, maybe clean ditches, we can put more there. But here, a week ago or so, I saw a car pull up there, and I pulled up behind him, and he had a bag of garbage. But
No.
he put it back in his car and took off.
Oh, he deserves to go over the hill. But I want to thank you for what you did do.
Did you politely tell him that? Did you politely tell him?
Well, he took off. I come around the corner, and there he was. He had a bag of garbage, and I pulled up behind him. He threw the garbage bag in his car and took off.
Get caught.
It was Pennsylvania plates, but I didn't get it.
All right. Adjourn.
I'm done.
What I did was I sent them out, I asked them glad if you could do that. And really pursue how I should come back to.
How are you, sir?
Yeah,
I'm better than
yeah, there you go.
How are you?
All right.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
We have to go get investigated.
That's the township problem.